All right, good afternoon, Phillies fans, and welcome back to the Fight is Final here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network with your boy Matty B on the call. And a wild one down there at Citizen Bank Park today in a wet, rainy, dreary, not a great day for baseball, but I'll take baseball anyway. Phillies fall short today, 11-9. A lot to go over in this game. Ranger Suarez made his 2025 MLB debut. Looked good, looked amazing for the first two innings, and then I don't know what the hell that was what we were watching after that. As Suarez was, after an extended spring training and a rehab stint, you would think he was ready to go, but apparently he wasn't ready to pitch past 40 or 45 pitches today because around that third inning, which has been a bugaboo inning for Phillies pitchers in general this season, Ranger Suarez lost everything and the command was everywhere. He was just out of control, and not a good overall debut for Ranger. And again, Rob Thompson made the decision at the end of yesterday's game during the postgame that he was definite by Taijuan Walker going to the bullpen. I think that was a mistake. Honestly do. And I've said it before. I've been on record by saying that I think you ride Taijuan Walker until you can't ride him anymore. Then you maybe look at something like switching him into the bullpen. But to unanimously just say, Ranger Suarez, you've earned a starting spot in the rotation after the season he had last year down the stretch, and then coming in cold this year, I think that's ridiculous. And but Rangers in the rotation today, and not a good start for him. Not a good start at all. And I'm concerned. With Ranger Suarez. I think I think this is the Ranger Suarez that he is, and it's unfortunate because we've been treated to a very, very good Ranger Suarez over the past 3.5 seasons. I have said this before. Every year they up the responsibility level to this guy, first by taking him out of the bullpen, putting him in as the fifth starter. I'm like, I don't know if he can handle that. He did. Then he moved up to the fourth starter. I'm like, I don't know if he can handle that. He did. And then last year, being elevated to that number 3 position in the rotation for the first 3-4 months of the year, it was like watching Cy Young out there. And I'm like, wow, he could do that too. Is Ranger Suarez an ace? I mean, is he just working his way up the rotation? But it seemed to be that is his ceiling, because he has been now on a steady downward spiral since June of last year, and it continued today. And not a good start offensively for the Phillies. I'm not happy with the 3 home runs. I'm not happy with this team's inability at the end of this game today, when this thing was crazy and you kind of had to throw the script out the window. When you get into a game like this, when it's back and forth and the pitching stinks on both sides. Phillies bullpen today was terrible. Once again, bullpen with no rolls bites us in the ass a little bit when we're throwing out Carlos Hernandez in the 11th inning, because we've already burned through our late inning guys in the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning. So pitching was terrible. Bryce Harper comes up with an opportunity. I got to hit a home run. Woo! He hit a solo home run in the first inning. Who cares? I want him in that spot in the 11th. That's where I wanted Bryce Harper. That's the clutch spot Bryce Harper needs to be in. I need him to come through then. But no, he's up there swinging for the fences, not trying to move runners on, not trying to get another runner potentially in to make it 11-10, and then got to go station to station. No. He wants to play hero ball and be the guy, and he flies out to center field. This is the problem. This is the problem with the Phillies, and specifically with the golden boy, Bryce Harper. It is not about the Phillies with Bryce Harper. It's about Bryce Harper. And I shouldn't sound surprised by that. It's always been about Bryce Harper throughout his entire career, ever since the baseball gods reached down and touched him and said, you know what? You are what you are for baseball. So why should I be surprised that he's up there trying to be Bryce Harper? But that's the problem with this team, and specifically Bryce Harper. Kyle Schwarber, how much more can I'm not apologizing for my takes on Bryce or on Kyle Schwarber. I'm not going to ever apologize for nothing I say, but he has earned my confidence. I honestly thought in that position in the 11th inning, that was the guy I wanted up there. And unfortunately, he was unable to deliver. But for the game, another great game by him. Once again, continues to hit with runners on base, because finally the Phillies moved him down to that cleanup spot. All in all, though, just a weird, wacky game. I love games like this. They're down 7-1. They battle their way back. Bullpen struggles. Pitching in general in this game on both sides struggled. Phillies find themselves on the other end of an 11-9 loss, failing to sweep the Arizona Diamondbacks. Take 2 out of 3. We'll have a day off tomorrow before heading on to sunny Steinbrenner Field in Tampa to battle the Rays. So let's get into some of your comments. Star Wars is still no, I'm not 9-4 now. That's right. 2-game losing streak, by the way, if you're keeping track at home as your host. Crazy game. Thought for sure they were going to win. You know what, Adam? No, I did not. I didn't think they were going to win, especially what happened in the 11th inning. You turn around. I thought they had a better chance of winning earlier in the game in the 9th, right? That's when I thought they were going to win. Once the game got into extra innings, I was like, yeah, I don't think they're going to do it. But I knew the longer the game would wear on with the way the bullpen was and the way it was used again. How did Rob Thompson employ his bullpen with no rolls today? Let's take a look at that real quick. So you had Kerkering coming in the 4th inning. You had Romano, Strom, and then in the back end of the game, you had Ross, Alvarado, and Hernandez. I mean, that doesn't spell a win to me. I understand when you're down 7-1, you might throw out the whole high leverage guys pitching in high leverage situations. But in a situation like that, when you're down 7-1, I would throw Joe Ross, Tanner Banks. I know he wasn't available. Ruiz, Hernandez. I would throw those guys out in that early part of the game. What the hell was a Ryan Kerkering who's struggling mightily pitching in the 4th inning for? Let me calm down. I want to rupture a gasket here because this Rob Thompson stuff, man, is reaching a fever pitch for me, the way this guy incorporates or looks at baseball. If Rob Thompson ever says he manages with feel, somebody will slap him in the face because he'd be straight up lying to you. There's no reason why Ryan Kerkering was pitching that early in the game. Jordan Romano was pitching too early in the game. Matt Strom was kind of pitching at the right spot. And then you go ahead with Joe Ross late. I mean, the Phillies were running out of pitchers. And once you got down to Carlos Hernandez in the 11th, once you got down to there, or I'm sorry, in the 10th, once you got Carlos Hernandez down in the 10th, you knew it was done. Did anybody have confidence with Carlos Hernandez stepping out onto the field in the 10th inning? I mean, first of all, what are you doing going back with Alvarado in the 10th inning? Alvarado was all over the place in the 9th. But because he mismanaged the bullpen, I shouldn't say he didn't mismanage nothing. Because the bullpen is mismanaged with no rolls, he had no other choice but to go with Alvarado. He was like, oh my God, damn. I got to pitch Alvarado in the 10th because I don't have anybody else. I got Hernandez, I got Banks. No, Banks wasn't available, and I got Ruiz. I don't have nothing because I pitched my high leverage guys early in this game. So do you blame this loss on Rob Thompson? You might want to. Rob Thompson's got a hand in it by his bullpen with no rolls. So, Adam set me off with a very innocent comment. The loss is on Robbie for misusing the bullpen once again as the bullpen with no rolls. Damn, Mike, it's like we're talking at the same time. I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees it. I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees this. You throw out Ryan Kerkering in the 4th inning. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm not saying stick with Suarez. Nah. But, you had a day up. Maybe you throw Taijuan Walker out there in the 4th inning. I don't know. I get it. You're down 7-1, right? But it's still early enough. You have a whole bunch of baseball left to play. I mean, why would you go to your high leverage guys? Because I don't want to say the back end of your bullpen because I don't know what the back end of the bullpen is. I'll just say with the high leverage guy thing. And you're going to throw them out there in the 4th inning. What is a Ryan Kerkering doing pitch? Somebody answer this. Why is a Ryan Kerkering pitching in the 4th inning? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Harper, Wilson, and Suarez home runs. Yeah, and as I said, Star Wars, the 3-run shot by Weston Wilson got the team back in this thing, got things going again for the Phillies, and that was great. But I honestly don't like seeing that anymore. I was digging the contact baseball. I was digging the station-to-station baseball because that, my friends, is how you win world championships. You lose world championships like Bryce Harper up there in the 10th inning, hacking away, trying to win the game on one swing. And I knew as he was walking up, I'm like, oh no, At least there's not 2 outs. So I'm thinking to myself, at least there's not 2 outs. He's not going to ground into a double play because he's looking to launch the ball. He's looking to swing for the fences. What I don't understand is why they didn't throw him junk and they left something up. Why did throw things into the ground? He's going to swing anyway. But I don't like it. I've had enough of the home runs for the Phillies. I don't want to see them anymore. I don't want to see the Phillies hit home runs. I want to do like Lou Brown in Major League. Anytime the Phillies hit a home run, you all owe me 100 push-ups. Until you can prove you can play baseball the other way on the ground with contact hitting and slash hitting, you're all being fined. You're getting fined for home runs. I'm going to start fining the players for hitting home runs because I want to see you hit the ball to the opposite field, to all fields, and move other runners along. So, yes, it was, Harper with the home run. What did he friggin' do in the first inning? The Wilson home run, 3-run shot, that's productive. Schwarber's home run, productive. But still, I want to see the other way because that's the way. That's how we're going to win. Now, it's increasingly evident to me, and it's been that way for the last 2.5 seasons, that we're not that type of team. But I'm not. I swear to God, I am never going to die on that hill and say that we can't win baseball the other way. We got to hit home runs. Now, Rob Thompson seems to think the only way they can win is hit home runs because he's always talking about we're going to start hitting home runs. Who cares, Rob? Rob, be more concerned about whether or not they can hit doubles with runners on base. Be more concerned whether they can lay down a sack bunt once in a while successfully. Be more concerned with things like that. Those solo home runs hurt us. Yeah. Kirkering pitching in the fourth at bat, treated as an early reliever, is not his strength. That's not what he's supposed to be in there for. In a bullpen with roles, for those of you out there who don't know, and I'll educate you, you have certain pitchers who fit a certain role. Joe Ross is a perfect example of a pitcher who should have been pitching in the fourth inning. That's what he is, right? He's a long reliever / spot starter. He's more designed for that. That's what he's done his entire career. Kirkering is a high octane, high velocity flamethrower. It's like putting Ricky Vaughn, going back to the Major League reference, Ricky Vaughn in the fourth inning. It doesn't work. It's like putting Dennis Eckersley in the fourth inning. It's like putting Mariano Rivera in the fourth inning. It doesn't work. Now, no way am I comparing Ryan Kirkering and Mariano Rivera, but I'm trying to paint a picture here. 40 on base. Whoopity-doo. Turner 1 for 6 is bad. Yeah, and then he also has some problems dealing with some throws down from second base from Turner or from JT. It was an ugly game, but these games they got merit, man. I enjoy a game like this that kind of goes back and forth. I love the fact that they battled their way back from a 7-1 deficit. I love the fact that they were put themselves in a position to win, but you just knew this game was mismanaged from the beginning. It was I got to stop saying mismanaged. It wasn't mismanaged. The whole thing is mismanaged. The whole damn ball of wax is wrong. Robbie didn't do anything necessarily wrong today. He did what he does. He manages the way he does. So I don't agree with him mismanaging it, but the whole philosophy is wrong. And today was a perfect example of why it's wrong. You were left with nothing at the end of the game. You were left with Carlos Hernandez standing out there in the 10th inning, and that was your best option. And then a slap in the face to the fans, the ones who stayed there through the 7-1 deficit, stayed there through that crappy day and Mom's Appreciation Day. Good way to churn an extra buck when your team's on the road for Mother's Day. But when you're there for all that and you last through all that at the end of the game, you look down onto the field in the 10th inning after a long afternoon of ups and downs, and Carlos Hernandez is the one standing on the mound. That's a slap in the face to everybody that bought a ticket in that game. Everybody should demand their money back. Rob Thompson should reimburse every single person in that stadium today because Carlos Hernandez was the last thing standing between the Phillies and defeat. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Oh, man. Where the hell did I leave off at? Jesus Christ, I'm up here. This game is on Robbie Mike Laro chiming in. It is. Listen, the whole thing is just so screwed up. This is why they're not going to win a World Series, right? This is why at the end of the day, when you get all excited about winning 2 out of 3 from an Arizona Diamondback team, that's okay. They're up and coming. They're in a tough division. They're third, fourth place in that division because of the teams ahead of them. They're an okay team, right? But you had an opportunity to take a broom out, man. You have a day off tomorrow, getting ready to start the American League portion of your schedule on Tuesday. You have a golden opportunity, and Suarez comes out and just Suarez didn't look ready. Rangers didn't look ready. And then the defense is the way it is, and then the situational hitting is the way it is, and then the situational pitching is terrible. But this is what the Phillies have been. It's not like this is a conundrum. This is what they have been for the last few seasons under this manager and under this regime. So they are all on Rob, right? Wins or losses, they're all on him. But this is just a pathetic example of what this team is. Alvarado should be pitching more than 1 inning. Should be pitching more than. Are you saying he should be pitching? Listen, Alvarado can pitch more than 1 inning if he was going well, but he struggled in the 9th inning. He shouldn't have been coming back out there in the 10th. But the only reason why Rob went back to him was because it was nothing else. He had already burned through everybody else. Weston Wilson put us back in the game. He did. It was a beautiful home run, and it got things woke people up down there. Tough loss. No, it wasn't, Joe. It was a Rob Thompson loss. Putting Schwarber on in left sucked. No, it didn't. Schwarber almost gunned somebody out down at home plate at the end of the game. If JT makes that play, maybe we're not losers today. I don't know, but let me tell you what, man. I'm getting off of Kyle Schwarber's back. All right, I'm done riding him, and I've been done for a while. He has earned that from me. I'm done. Matter of fact, if I look up and down the lineup, there's one player that I actually have total confidence in, and that's Kyle Schwarber, based on what he's done over the last season plus 34 games. I'm done. He's earned it, man. He's got a break from Matty B, and I'm not going to criticize him right now. He doesn't deserve it. And defensively today, he misplayed that ball early in the game. I think that was in the first inning too. He should have kind of made that play, but he kind of made up for it later in the game when he gunned somebody down at trying to score late, but JT couldn't come up with the play. The BCIB struggling again, couldn't come up with that play. All you BCIB fans out there, man. Ruiz was put on the DL. Well, again, okay. So we had so then what after her? So who's pitching after Hernandez? Say the Phillies tie that game. Who? Because Banks wasn't available. Who the hell are they bringing out to pitch? They already cut Cody Clemens. Who's pitching in the 10th or 12th inning or 11th inning? I didn't know that Ruiz was put on the IL. Who's pitching? They didn't bring anybody up, did they? I didn't see that. Just sign a petition, Matty, to have Robbie fired. I've been wanting Rob Thompson out of here since 2023. I was not on board with Rob Thompson coming back after the World Series loss, but I gave that to him because I thought it was a magical season for everybody. But after he blew the NLCS in 2023, I was hardcore, on the fire Rob Thompson train, and they ain't listening to me, unfortunately. They had Walker warming, so it was bad. Yeah, and so I guess that's who it was. I guess it was Walker after Hernandez because we had burned through the bullpen. Weston Wilson at first was I disagree. I disagree, Star Wars. Listen, he can play first base. He can play third base too. You know what? Weston Wilson's one of those Swiss Army knife type players. It was a fine move for me. I had no issues with that. I'd rather have seen Otto Kemp playing first base or third base. That would have been better. But I'll take Weston Wilson for now. And he had himself a good day. But no, I disagree. Walrus Taiwan. Damn, Michael, I just said that, man. If you're gonna go with somebody, I would have obviously Joe Ross would have been my first call out of the bullpen. That's who I would have went with. He's a short guy, or he's a long guy. I know you're down Tanner Banks, right? You're down apparently Ruiz. You got to stretch these guys out somewhat. I would have gone with Ross. Walker would have been my second option somewhere around the 5th or 6th inning. But I agree. Bob got on my nerves. Who's Bob? What the hell's Bob? Robbie, press conference of the game is like watching paint dry. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Leaving Alvarado for another inning never works. He was terrible in the ninth. I mean, he was all over the place in the ninth. And what did you think? The only reason why, Al, he came back in the 10th because Rob Thompson had no other options. He was delaying the inevitable of going to Carlos Hernandez. And he was out of options down there because he had burned through all his high leverage guys earlier in the game. He didn't stretch these relievers out. He didn't stretch the Joe Rosses out. He didn't stretch Taijuan Walker out if he had to go there. They went into the game down one reliever to begin with apparently Ruiz on the IL. It was terrible. It was a terrible managing game for Rob Thompson. But Big Al, let me remind everybody out there that on this network here, the It's a Wrap Sports Network, a fine young network that it is, we are proud sponsors of. That's right, Big Al's Excuse Emporium. Right. You know what? If you have any problems with dealing with Rob Thompson's managing ability, or if you cannot quite wrap your head around why Bryce Harper seems to want to play for himself and not for the team, don't worry about it. You can go to Big Al's Excuse Emporium and find everything you need in order to sort of get you to sleep at night. Because we specialize in settling down those jumpy nerves, settling down your reality issues. At Big Al's Excuse Emporium, we have everything for all the reality-deprived Philadelphia Phillies sports fans out there. That's right. Big Al's Excuse Emporium, established in the summer of 2024. You go in and tell Al that Matty B sent you, you get 10% off your first purchase. And bring the kids. They got stuff for the kids there. Bouncy houses. They got hot dogs and soda. So head on down to Big Al's Excuse Emporium today. Tell them Matty B sent you. You don't think I was listening this morning? I listen to everything on this network. You're not deleting this graphic. We're going to continue riding this graphic until I say so. Oh, man. Analytics tells Robbie the small ball doesn't work, and Robbie, the genius he was hired for a feel of the game. Still goes, what? Well, Rob Thompson was hired for feel of the game. Rob Thompson was a midseason replacement for Joe Girardi. I mean, it wasn't really hired. He was a midseason replacement that got lucky, led the team to a World Series berth, and then a loss in the NLCS, now a loss in the wild card round. I don't remember anything about Rob Thompson's managing style. I don't remember that even being advertised when he took over for Girardi. It was just a matter of we need someone to fill in a spot because we're canning Girardi's ass. Let's get him in here. Clearly, Rob Thompson doesn't manage with the feel of the game. What feel of the game? What is that feel of the game? I mean, somebody explain it to me. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not giving Rob Thompson the benefit of the doubt. Maybe all the homers out there can tell me what Rob Thompson, what the feel of the game is when he manages. Because maybe I'm just not seeing it, man. I don't know. Otto Kemp is hitting pretty good. Yeah, he is. I think he was a double away from the cycle today. He's just killing the ball down there at AAA. And, also Mick Abel today pitched 7 scoreless or 6 scoreless or something down there in Rochester for the Pigs. So they won again today, by the way. I've had like 23-9 on the season. Don't get me started on this. And you're going to get me started because it's Sunday here on the program. That means I have to go into the Phillies minor league system and report on these players. Otto Kemp is going to be featured in this week's segment because he once again had another amazing week for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. And I'm watching Alec Boehm try to backhand a ball down the line at third base. He's kicking it all over the place. And then I'm watching Otto Kemp on another screen, a double away from the cycle down there in Lehigh Valley. And I'm thinking, okay, what's wrong with this pitcher? How much longer, man? How much longer can we justify this? How much longer can Dave Dombrowski justify this? And as I've said this before, and I hope I'm so wrong. I pray to God I'm wrong. I hope this isn't a showcase for Dombrowski to move some of these kids at the trade deadline to try to, buy us a World Series. I hope that Dombrowski doesn't go into our minor league system and sell away some of these names, Otto Kemp being one of them, to try to bring a World Series here. because I swear to God, man, I cannot be held responsible for my behavior if he does that. I really can't. And I don't know, man. I don't want to see me unhinged. I don't, because I can't tell you how that's gonna end up. But at what point do we say enough's enough? Brandon Marsh, getting every friggin' chance, but I mean every chance to prove himself at this level. Doesn't belong here. Brandon Marsh doesn't belong with the Phillies. Alec Bohm doesn't belong here either, right? I mean, let's face it. We missed with those two players. It hasn't worked out. But when do you make the move, man? When do you just say, listen, we've drafted for the future. We've invested in the future. When is the future now? And is it a matter of bringing these guys up would make the Bryce Harpers and the Trey Turners of the world look bad because they're getting paid mega money? And here comes rookie A and rookie B, and they're knocking the cover off the ball, and they're doing everything they can to try to win games for the team. Is it a matter of their egos being bruised? If it is, I say bruise away. But it's harder and harder every day, Mike, for me to sit here and try to justify why none of these kids are being given their shot. And I don't mean a shot to come up here and sit on the bench. I mean, can Otto Kemp do any worse than Alec Bohm at third base at this particular moment in time? Would there be any drop-off right now between Bohm and Kemp projected? I mean, we don't know until we see it. Is there any drop-off of what Justin Crawford could do in center field versus Johan Rojas and Brandon Marsh? I mean, I'm not asking to replace Harper, which that's coming soon. I'm not asking to replace Turner, which there could be a debate about that. I'm asking to replace two of the weakest links on this baseball team right now, Alec Bohm and Brandon Marsh. And apparently you can't move them out of their spots for anything. So what really is going on? And is it all about service time? Is it about trying to save one more year of their contract? I mean, I don't know. But it's increasingly getting tougher and tougher day after day after day for me to justify why these kids are not being given their shot. And I pray to God, I pray to the one who created the heavens and the earth and me, Matty B, to rule upon the heavens and the earth. I pray to that person that Dave Dombrowski is not fixing to do some sort of nonsensical, let's trade Otto Kemp to the Pittsburgh Pirates for Andrew McCutchen type move at the trade deadline. I pray to God that that's not what this is, because Dombrowski can't maneuver in the trade deadline. He's terrible at it. He's been terrible at it since he's been here. But I pray to God that's not what the ultimate end of this is we're going to move off of some of these players for some rental players that are not going to work. I pray to God. Robbie is more concerned about home runs than being manager, and he's useless at that. Rob said that. He's adamant about the home runs. We're going to start hitting home runs, I promise. I don't want to see him anymore. I want the Phillies to be fined. I want each player on this team to be fined every time they hit a home run. Every time they hit a home run, I want a player fined until further notice. Until we can demonstrate how to hit small ball, contact, move players along. Bryce Harper specifically. Bryce Harper was out there in the 10th inning or 9th inning, 10th inning, swinging for the fences. He wasn't trying to move runners along. He wasn't trying to keep the lineup moving or keep the carousel spinning. He wasn't. He was trying to walk off the game. And what does he do? Flies out to center field. Is anybody questioning that down there? Is anybody going to shove a microphone into the Golden Boy's face and ask him, hey, what was your philosophy in the 10th inning? What were you trying to do? Were you trying to win the game, be the hero? Or were you trying to move the runners along? He was trying to win the game. Our bullpen did not give away a run until the ninth. Our bullpen did. Sawers, it was mismanaged, right? Why was Kirkering pitching in the fourth? We needed the bullpen in the ninth. We needed no runs in the ninth and 10th inning. We needed our flamethrowers later in the game. I didn't need to see Ryan Kirkering pitching in the fourth inning. The pitching was terrible. It was at the latter part of the game. I'm not talking about the midpoint, right? They stabilized, fine. But you can't be relying on Ryan Kirkering in the fourth inning. He's supposed to be the 8th inning guy. I'm not sold on Kirkering at all anymore. But I'm the employment of the bullpen is the problem. The way the pitchers were used was terrible. I can't believe Robbie has Canadian Hall of Fame. It's Canada, man. What do you expect? Robbie sits as one of his hottest hitters in Kepler and starts Rojas in center. Yep. With a day off tomorrow. I never understood that either. He would bench JT on a Sunday with the day off Monday. I just don't get it, man. Sanchez is not good on the road. Well, we'll see. Ranger was activated. He was deactivated today, boy. Woo. Walker would pitch. Yeah. Then after Walker, who? Get this game drove on into the 13th inning. Who do we got, man? Bohm had a good game. What? Sorry, you see the little play down there on the third base line where he's kicking the ball around? Tries to make a backhand, goes off the heel of his glove. Didn't get an error. By the way, let me get on another rant real quick before we get into the box score. What are we? We're 30 minutes into the show. I haven't even talked about the game. Well, the box score. What is going on with MLB scoring? How are the Phillies walk away from this game with no errors, right? How does that happen? How does that play with Alec Bohm going down the third base line, trying to backhand a ball, routine ground ball, mind you, a Major League Baseball player, right? This is not a AAA guy, a single A guy, a little league guy, right? This is not a varsity JV guy, right? This is a Major League Baseball player. A routine backhand play, kicks off the heel of his glove, and he kicks it around. How is that not scored an error? How? What is going on in the MLB scores office? How do they score errors in MLB baseball these days? Because obviously no one's looking at these games. Are they doing it with like secondhand information? Hey, that was a tough play, but I want to say that was a hit. Because you cannot justify that to me. Like that, you can't justify the Rojas where it fell right in front of him in center field as not being an error. But that wasn't an error. That was a hit. It's actually ludicrous, insane. And also to say that Alec Bohm had a good game. He had a clutch hit late. I'll give that to you. But he also coughed up some runs too. Alec Bohm doesn't belong here. Alec Bohm does not belong. When you got an Otto Kemp doing what he's doing and Bohm is in his way, Bohm is not doing anything to keep Kemp down. Well, maybe he is. I don't know because he's not here yet. But Bohm is not doing anything to keep Otto Kemp from nipping at his heels. Bohm had a good game. Bohm is garbage. Garbage. Hot garbage. Alec Bohm sucks. Alec Bohm needs to go away and take Brandon Marsh with him. I mean, Rob. These relief pitchers are babied. They pitched to one batter the day before, and they're not available the next day. Now, come on, it's not that bad. But it is that bad at the same time. The Phillies need to fire Rob. I agree, Ricky Deal. They need to fire Rob. All right, let's get into this game here. Good God, man. On the box score for the night, Arizona would finish with 11 runs on 12 hits, no errors. Phillies 9 runs, 14 hits, and an error. Did they actually assess that as an error? Because it was 0 for a while. Did they change the scoring on that? I'll have to go back and look, but the Phillies do have an error. Are they giving it to Bohm or are they giving it to Turner? Somebody help me out. Where did that error come from? There's an error late been posted onto the box score. It wasn't there all throughout the game. Offensively for the Phillies, Trey Turner, 1 for 6, leading off today. 1 for 6. Trey's continuing to befuddle. Up one day, down the next. Up one day, down the next. 1 for 6 with 2 strikeouts. Harper on the day, 2 for 5, 2 runs. Had the home run early on, the solo shot with an RBI. Struck out twice, and he also was overswinging in the 9th inning or 10th inning, causing a shallow or lazy fly ball, can of corn, to center field. Kyle Schwarber 1 for 5, but it was a big hit to kind of wake things up, get the Phillies back in this thing. Get them within 1 run late in the game, kind of got the rally going. He did also walk and strike out twice. Castellanos 2 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Marsh as a pinch runner scored a run, didn't get an official bet. JT 2 for 5 today with an RBI. Did have that late RBI. I'll give him that. Bohm was 2 for 4 with a run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Still just batting .228. Armando Sosa, before being lifted for a pinch hitter, was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Bryson Stott was 1 for 2 when he entered the game. Weston Wilson 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs on the 3-run home run. Yohan Rojas 1 for 3, and Max Kepler, late pinch hitter, 0 for 1 with an RBI. And I guess you got to give Weston Wilson your offensive player of the game nods with that big 3-run home run to get the Phillies back into this thing. But couldn't really do much with that. For the Diamondbacks, Perdomo, man, 4 for 5 on the day, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, a walk and a strikeout. Corbin Carroll, 2 for 6, 3 RBIs. Who else? They also had a good day for the Diamondbacks. Obviously, all the damage was done up there on the top of that lineup. Combined between Perdomo and Carroll, the team was 6 for 11 with 6 RBIs. So you take away Perdomo and Corbin Carroll, I guess you might come out here with a win, but that's not the case for the Phillies, as they were unable to do that. Pitching wise, Ranger Suarez, a putrid 3.5, 7 hits, 7 runs. They were all earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, as he was a strikeout machine for the first 2 innings. Pitched 82 pitches in 3.5 innings. Oh, I don't do I have to comment on 82 pitches through 3.5 innings? Oh man. And here comes the bullpen with no rolls. Kerkering, an inning and a third with 2 walks. Then Romano comes in, pitches an inning, gives up a hit and a strikeout. Strom with an inning of clean work. Then Joe Ross in the 8th with an inning and a strikeout. Alvarado in the 9th, in the 10th, an inning and a third, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. A walk. Maybe I guess the error was late. What is it? The Trey Turner play? Is that what they're giving an error to? I gotta look that up. 30 pitches for an inning and a third for Jose Alvarado. And then Hernandez comes in for a half an inning with a hit, a walk, and a strikeout. And for the Diamondbacks, Rodriguez, 5 in the third, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts. Philly struck out 14 times today as a team. Also gave up a home run. Morlao, Ginkill, Thompson, Miller, and Clarence Beeks. That's right, the bad guy from Trading Places. He comes in and gets the save for the Diamondbacks, his first of the season. Miller gets the win. He's 3-0. On the Alvarado will absorb the loss for the Phillies. He's now 3-1 on this season. Phillies were 5 for 10, batted 500 with runners in scoring position. They left 10 runners on base though for this game. The Diamondbacks were 6 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Left 8 runners on base, and also swiped 3 bases off of JT Realmuto today. 3 bases. Phillies did not have any stolen bases today. Matter of fact, the Phillies, let's take a look at this real quick. The Phillies haven't had a stolen base in 5 games. Their last stolen base came in the second game of the National Series. Not much movement on the base pads these days. And scoring summary, Bryce Harper would get it rolling for the Phillies early in this game with the home run in the bottom of the first inning. Perdomo would double in Hampton to make it 1-1 in the third. Corbin Carroll, though, would knock in Herrera and Perdomo to make it 3-1 in the third. Then Herrera in the fourth would double in Hampton and Wawa, making it 5-1. Perdomo would reach on an infield single, knocking in Herrera to make it 6-1. Carroll with the single to make it 7-1. And that was to be the end of Ranger Suarez. Rojas would get the Phillies back going in the bottom of the fourth with a single to knock in Stott, making it 7-2. I'm sorry, Sosa make it 7-2. Then Weston Wilson with the big 3-run jack in the 6th inning, getting the Phillies to within 7-5. Realmuto would single in Harper to make it 7-6. And then Gerchuk would knock in Corbin Carroll with a double in the 9th to make it 8-6. Schwarber would homer in the bottom of the 9th, making it 8-7. Bohm would tie things up, knocking in Marsh to make it 8-8. Naylor would single in Suarez to make it 9-8. Tawala would sac fly in Naylor, making it 11-8. Kepler would sac fly in Stott, making it 11-9, but the Phillies could not get any further than that. They fall today 11-9 to the Arizona Diamondbacks in extra innings, now dropping 19-15 on the season, failing to get the series sweep. Phillies have only swept 1 team this year. I've only had 1 series sweep all season long so far through 34 games, as they fall now to the season 19-15, Off day tomorrow before heading off to Tampa on Tuesday against the Rays. And they will face, on that game right now, tentatively, it's Zach Wheeler versus Drew Rasmussen on Tuesday at 7:00. So let's go. Let's do our Broad Street Bottom Line segment. Let's do that. Because I'm way behind and I got a lot to do. Was that up there the whole time that I was going over the box score? Ricky's comment about firing Rob Thompson. Good. He's blown there. All right, my Broad Street Bottom Line. I've been ranting and raving about it for like 45 minutes. Bullpen with no roles just ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. You're never going to win a World Series when you have pitchers who don't know what they're doing every day coming out of that pen. And today you saw the Phillies run out of arms, run out of high leverage guys because of the employment improperly of that bullpen. And when you're left at the end of the day and the dust clears and there's Carlos Hernandez standing on the mound, I don't think you're going to win. Your chances of winning are pretty slim. At least it wasn't October, right? At least this wasn't Game 6 of the NLCS, and all you had left was Carlos Hernandez. At least it's May, and we have months and months and months to hopefully fix this problem, which I doubt they will. But the Broad Street Bottom Line to me is the bullpen without roles doesn't work. And for those of you out there, you homers, you slobbering, window-licking homers out there that believe that the bullpen with no roles is okay, shame on you. And that's why we're never going to win because, well, one, you don't have the mental acuity to understand baseball, and you can't see through your red sunglasses. But the bullpen without roles does not work. And today was a perfect example of it as the Phillies ran out of arms, and your vaunted manager Rob Thompson completely employed the bullpen wrong today. And that was part of the reason why. That's not the full reason, but it's part of the reason why the Phillies lost today. 11-9. There you go. That's your Broad Street Bottom Line. And that was brought to you proudly here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network by the PM and the AM program. That's right. Today, this morning, 9 a.m., they made their successful triumphant return to the airwaves. Pat's got to work on his internet. I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't know what's happening with the dial-up he was using, but other than that, very successful return. I want to, again, express from the bottom of my heart, or I should say, bottom of the place, if I had a heart, would be that I am very happy they're back. It was great to see them back. Sunday mornings just weren't the same without them, and I'm glad that the It's a Wrap Sports Network can be your carrier of the PM and the AM program. And here is to years to come of uninterrupted Pat and Mike and Big Al producing on Sundays at 9 a.m. So welcome back, boys. Job well done. Mission accomplished. And let's go out there and let's win another one next week. So every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. is when you can catch the PM and the AM program here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. So make sure you're tuned in because they'll be there with or without you. But we prefer to be there with you. So make sure you're tuned in. So let's go around the bases. All right, let's go around the bases with games that are currently still going on. In the top of the ninth inning, it is 9-3 San Francisco all over the Colorado Rockies. Out there in the Big A, it's 11-1 Tigers all over the Angels in the bottom of the sixth or eighth. In the Natty, it's 2-1 Nationals over the Reds in the top of the seventh. Second game of doubleheader. Well, let's go with the first game first. In the first game of a doubleheader, it was 6-5 Cardinals over the Mets. So that's good news. Phillies don't lose any ground, but they're now into the top of the second on the second game of their doubleheader. Nothing currently in that game. Games that have gone final: 11-6 Royals over the Orioles is 5-4 Twins over the Red Sox, 4-0 San Diego over the Pirates, 7-5 Rays over the Yankees, 5-4 Guardians over the Blue Jays. It was 3-2 Sacramento over Miami. It was 4-0 Brewers over the Cubs, 5-4 White Sox over the Astros, and 8-1 Rangers over the Mariners. And later tonight, your ESPN game is the Braves and the Dodgers from Hotlanta. So there you have your round the bases on this day in Major League Baseball on this Sunday afternoon, May 4th? What is it? All right, so let's go back here. I'm way behind here, guys, so please bear with me. Kepler is the center And Kepler is in the center and right today. We see Kepler play all the outfield spots. Yeah, that will work for me. Kepler, I don't think he can play center. Bring up Kemp and Crawford now. That's what Adam wants. I believe you. Oh, Adam, I got your message on Facebook. We'll talk about it later tonight at 10 o'clock. I put Kepler in against lefties. Man, screw the lefty-righty crap. Whoever gives you the better chance of winning. Robbie is no good. Saying Kepler today when he was hot. Stupid. Absolutely stupid with a day off tomorrow. I agree. A day off tomorrow, everybody plays, right? Everybody should have played yet today with a day off tomorrow. I used to be like small ball. I used to like small ball. I still do. Schwarber got an error. Oh, he got the error for what? What was the error on Schwarber for? Was it from that play early in the game against the wall? Because they gave him an error on the throw to home. It's terrible. I am baffled how the Phillies 5 in the odds makers' eyes to win the World Series. Me too, Michael Papernick. I don't know how anybody could. Who's going to lay money on the Phillies? May the fourth be with you. Absolutely, Star Wars. My broadcast stream, bottom line, is clean house. It's what Michael wants to do. Clean the house. Putting in Romano was bad. It was in that time of the game. I would have much preferred Romano later in the game. But putting him in at that point in the game was terrible. And Michael Papernick says the Phillies are 6 in the Rays and Cleveland all on the road. Phillies next 6. Yep, they'll hit the road to begin their AL portion of their schedule in Tampa and Cleveland next week. So before we say goodbye, we do have, it is Sunday, so that means it's time to go down on the Phillies farm. It's actually one of my favorite segments to do. I enjoy it. Let's key it up here. Let's head on down through the Philadelphia Philly minor league system. This is a weekly report. When we talk about some players, we highlight some players. We also talk about the team itself and see where they might be in their seasons. A little bit of an administrative note. The FCL Phillies, which are the Phillies rookie league teams, began their play yesterday on Saturday. So no report on them this week, but they'll be back in the mix next week as I got to give them some time to actually play some games before we talk about some players. But as of now, it is official, man. It's baseball season. All the teams are playing, and we are in it. So beautiful, it's a great time of the year, and I'm glad that we're all here together to enjoy it for one more year in the sun. So let's start our journey in the Phillies minor league system to low A ball, which is the Clearwater Thrashers. On the week, the team was 3 for 3. On the season, 14-12 are your Clearwater Thrashers. Your fielder of the week, catcher of the future, Eduardo Tate. 5 games, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs. I would imagine, if I was a betting man, if you want to throw some money down on this, Tate's going to be in Clearwater, or not Clearwater, he's going to be in Jersey Shore by Memorial Day. I'd say Memorial Day, mid-June to latest, Eduardo Tate gets the ups to high A. And potentially, there's an outside chance, depending on how he relates to high A ball, he could finish the season in Reading. They could advance his progression. He is having absolutely no problems going from rookie leagues to low A, which I know it's not night and day. It's more night and day when you go from A to double A. But if Tate does not seem to have a problem, which he's showing that early on the season, he doesn't have a problem with low A pitching, I think it's a matter of time. Very soon, he gets promoted up to Jersey Shore. And then, depending from there, you could see him in Reading by the end of the year. Your pitcher of the week is Ubiro Armenta. By the way, there's some names this week that you're going to have to bear with me. There's some names that I'm going to be saying this week that you got to bear with me. 2 games, a win, 2.2 innings pitched. Go on, Matty B. You're going to give honors a pitcher of the week to a guy that threw 2.2 innings? No hits, no earned runs, 8 strikeouts in those 2.2 innings. No walks and a 0.0 ERA. That's why I'm giving pitcher of the honor week of the honors to Armenta there, because he struck out 8 in 2.5 innings pitched. He deserves it. Again, 3-3 were the Threshers on the week, and 14-12 overall for the season. Now let's head up to high A in Jersey Shore. For your fielder of the week is Raylan Heredia, your number 19 prospect in the Philly system. He's an outfielder, 4 games, 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 homers, and 3 RBIs. First year of high A ball, seems to be really taking it pretty good. Another one of these players that maybe 3 years from now, there's no rush on Raylan. There's no rush on him at all. He's a center fielder by trade. So, but the Phillies have a bunch of these kids That may not be Justin Crawford, but they're definitely up there. As I said, the 19th prospect in the Phillies system is Heredia, and he might be on the move this year. There might be some movement there with him and these kind of players, which really upsets me. But he is your fielder of the week for the Jersey Shore Blue Claws. For your pitcher of the week, for a second straight week, is Esteban Jimenez. This is his second straight week of getting pitcher of the week honors for the Blue Claws. 2 games, a win, 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a 3.86 ERA for your two-time or your back-to-back pitcher of the week down there in Jersey Shore. Esteban Jimenez. On the week, the Blue Claws were 3-3 for the week, 9-16 so far on this season is Jersey Shore. Now let's move on up to Double-A to the very struggling Reading Phillies. 1-4 for the week, 6-18 on the season. Fielder of the week is Trent Farquhar. I think that's how you say his name. Second baseman, 4 games, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 homer, and 3 RBIs. Pitcher of the week, Braden Farsnot. It's going on in Reading, man. 1 game, 1 win, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, a walk, and a 4.50 ERA. Farsnot was a player we talked about a lot last year when he was in High A. He made pitcher of the week honors consistently last season, I think 7 times for the Blue Claws. Now he's converted or moved on up to Double-A, and it's his first appearance as your pitcher of the week. So keep an eye on him. Again, one of those big 6'6", lanky right-hander, throws with a lot of power. Maybe a bullpen piece for the Phillies about 4 years from now, but not. I think he's like 56 in the system overall, but a good week for him down there in Reading. The Reading Fightins are not having a good year. They're 1-4 for the week, 6-18 on the season. So you got to take these things in small doses, folks. Let's concentrate on the players. So let's move on up to Triple-A. And is there any real doubt who the player of the week is or the fielder of the week? This guy's been absolutely ripping the ball. Otto Kemp, third baseman, 5 games, 11 hits, 6 runs, 3 homers, and 13 RBIs. 13 RBIs in 5 games. I say it all the time, and I've already reverted to calling it a broken record. It is just a matter of time. When is that time? Otto Kemp deserves to be a Philadelphia Philly. Just to see if we can keep riding this hot hand. What worse could it be to have Otto Kemp versus Alec Bohm at this point? What harm do you have with that? A huge week for Kemp. And that's not even including today. Today's stats will be rolled into next week. I do this from Sunday to Saturday. And this was his Sunday through Saturday of last week. 5 games, 11 hits, 6 runs scored, 3 homers, and 13 RBIs, man. Are you kidding me? 13 RBIs, and he bats up near the top of the lineup. So he obviously knows how to hit the ball to all fields. Your pitcher of the week, strangely enough, is Ranger Suarez. In his 1 game down in Lehigh Valley, he pitched 4.5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run, struck out 8, walked 2, and finished with a 1.93 ERA. Did not get the win, but he was your pitcher of the week down there in the Valley. And of course, unfortunately, he didn't carry that up here for his first start of the season. On the week, the Iron Pigs were 4-1 so far for the 2025 season. Lehigh Valley out to an amazing 22-9 start, probably 23-9 after today, but 22-9 to start the season for the Iron Pigs. An amazing start for them to begin their season. And there you go, your trip through the Phillies minor league system on this Sunday on the Down on the Farm report. So hope you enjoyed it. I do. On the throw. So they're giving Schwarber an error on that. Again, man, who's watching this stuff, man? Who's watching this stuff? That should be an error on JT. That's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Good show. Thank you, Michael. And that is going to wrap me up. A long one today. A lot to unpack in an 11-9 extra inning game. Remember, the Phillies are off tomorrow, so we have no Fighting's final tomorrow, but we'll be back on Tuesday, and this is your schedule for the week coming. It'll be Steve Fuentes on Tuesday, Mike Laro on Wednesday, and I will be back on Thursday night for you as well. So got the Rays coming up, and then we're off to Cleveland and on a day off tomorrow. But you don't have to wait because we have more in store for you today on the network, because later on tonight, the Final Word with Matty B will return for our first show of our broadcast week. Make sure you're back here at 10 p.m. to hear me continue to rant and rave about this loss and everything else that's going on in the Philadelphia sports world. And on every Thursday night at 9, don't forget it's the Attacking Third. Pat Bernard and Steve Fuentes give you everything Union, everything MLS that you can possibly handle every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. And then as of today, the return of PM in the AM is back. They will be at you every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. So make sure you're looking out for them. And you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Rough one today. Kind of brought you up and down all over the place. As I said, I love these types of games. They're fun, but boy, they're frustrating. And today was no different. So Phillies lose 11-9. Take 2 out of 3 from the Diamondbacks. Day off tomorrow. They will go on Tuesday in Tampa against the Rays, and Drew Rasmussen will be opposed by Zach Wheeler. So until we talk again on the Fighting's Final, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope to see you back here tonight at 10 p.m. for the final word. Until then, take care.